Apple's iPhone event is happening 1 week from today, and we just got some bombshell leaks in terms of what we should expect alongside the brand new iPhone 14 lineup, with some new leaks that are confirming some of the things that we were not sure about. And boy, this stuff gets crazy because there are some new features that were not confirmed before, but we know we are getting them now. So I am so excited for this Apple event. Now let's get into those new details. So we just got a new massive iPhone 14 leak dump from a source called Yoix1122 on Naver, which seems like a Korean source, which in the past he has said some things that were actually correct. So there is some merit to these leaks. Now, first of all, he says that the storage is gonna start at 128 gigs once again. Now, we thought that it could be 256 at one point based on another leak, but it looks like it's gonna be 128 again, and that actually matches up to what Mark Gurman told me during the interview that we had recently. On top of that, we're getting faster 30-watt wired charging. We are getting the A16 chip that has better thermals. Now, I'm not sure if this is due to the actual A16 chip, because the A16 chip is rumored to be based on the same N5P architecture as the A15, so you wouldn't really expect it to be much more cool. However, we did get some leaks from Ming-Chi Kuo previously that Apple was working on a new thermal system with vapor chamber cooling, and maybe that's why it's gonna be cooler, so I am super excited for that. On top of that, we are gonna be getting stronger MagSafe magnets. Yes, if you have the iPhone 12 or 13 lineup and you're kind of annoyed because the magnet's not strong enough on the back of the iPhone, well, they're gonna be stronger this year, and I'm super excited for that. And on top of that, we're getting a new MagSafe battery accessory. Now, we already have the Apple MagSafe battery pack, which a lot of people do not like because it doesn't work that well and it's pretty slow. So hopefully Apple releases a much better one. And I really hope Apple puts MagSafe magnets on the back of the actual battery pack itself. We are expecting better battery life, and he did say that prices may be in a completely different direction than expected. Now, I don't really know what that means, but he did translate it to it saying it will be more expensive and the price gap between models may change too. Now, in my personal opinion, I think that the iPhone 14 regular model will stay at the same $799, with the new 14 Max at $899, and then both the Pro and Pro Max models are gonna be $100 more expensive than they currently are now. So $1,100 for the Pro and $1,200 for the Pro Max. Now, moving on, we just got a huge leak concerning the ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 14 Pro models this year, saying that it's gonna have bigger pixels than before, which means low light performance will be improved. Now, actually going to the leak itself, it's from Ming-Chi Kuo, who is very reliable. And as for the specifics, going to Ming-Chi Kuo's actual tweet, he says that the iPhone 14 Pro model's ultra-wide cameras will upgrade to 1.5 micron size pixels versus 1.0 on the current iPhone 13 Pro. Now, if you don't know how the pixel sizes are measured, it's actually just one side of the pixel. So if it's 1 micron long, it's also 1 micron wide, so it's 1 square micron. Now, going up to 1.4 is actually gonna be squared, which is 1.96 square microns versus 1 square micron on the current 13 Pro. That's basically double the surface area of each pixel, which means almost double the amount of light going into each pixel if you keep the same 12 megapixel sensor size. That's gonna be a huge low light improvement. Now, moving on, it looks like we did get a leak of the actual sticker of an iPhone 14 Pro model. So yes, that name is for sure confirmed, and that it's coming in a white box, at least the Pro devices. On top of that, we also have confirmation that all iPhone 14 models are going to feature 6 gigabytes of RAM, of course with the Pro models having the faster RAM. And going even further, we have confirmation that there will no longer be a Sierra blue color, and there will not be a titanium model. We're gonna be keeping the stainless steel for the Pros again. And interestingly, Dan Rue did come out and talk about the 30-watt charger that's going to be coming out for the iPhone 14 series. However, he did say that the peak power of the Lightning interface of the iPhone is only 27 watts. That's the maximum. And the newer, higher setting to enable 30 watt is not going to be available. So I think Apple is going to be future-proofing this 30-watt charger for next year's iPhone 15 series and beyond that will be able to accept 30 watts through the USB-C port. Now this right here is absolutely crazy. It's rumored that Apple and Globalstar will be announcing satellite connectivity for the iPhone 14 lineup at the September 7th event. Now this is nuts, but it makes total sense because in February, Globalstar announced that it acquired 17 new satellites to provide continuous satellite services to a potential customer, which might be Apple, and I think that makes total sense in terms of this rumor because you're gonna be able to go out hiking, out in the ocean, on your boat, yacht, whatever, any place where there's no service, and you will be able to get some satellite connectivity just enough to make a text message or a voice call, hopefully, because right now you have to buy a satellite phone with a subscription service, and Apple is just gonna kill that market. Now moving on, Ming-Chi Kuo did say that Apple has completed hardware tests for iPhone 14 satellite connectivity, so they're ready, but the launch is gonna depend on the partners and if they are ready on time. So I think we're really getting this feature. Now let's move on to the Apple Watch Series 8 lineup, and we just got some new leaks from Shrimp Apple Pro about what we should expect. Now, as far as the regular Series 8, we should expect the same 41 and 45 millimeter sizing options. No differences there. We are gonna be getting an updated red color, the same packaging and contents, and plentiful supply at launch. So don't expect any supply issues or demand issues at all. Shrimp Apple Pro did say that the box design with the seal is going to be staying the same, except that they added more glue underneath to make sure that it shows that you actually opened it and people can't kind of fake it and rebox it or anything like that. And as far as the Series 8 Pro, he did say that that is coming alongside a new SE watch with no major changes for the SE, but the 8 Pro will have some changes, and it's gonna be a surprise to people because it's gonna be a one more thing type of announcement. However, there is a caveat and a potential issue because there are rumors saying that the Pro Apple Watch is not gonna be compatible with older watch bands, which means that if you made a collection of watch bands over the years, you might have to restart all over again. But don't worry, because Mark Gurman did tweet about it, saying that he believes the Apple Watch Pro will support older bands, though maybe they won't fit as well or look as seamless given the size of the new watch. So basically, it's technically gonna fit, but it's not gonna look great, so you're probably just gonna buy a Pro Apple Watch band anyway. And on top of that, we also got a leak from the Japanese website Mac Atakara saying that the Apple Watch Pro is gonna be featuring a larger 47 millimeter case size with a flat display. Yes, it's gonna be flat, which is gonna allow it to have thinner bezels and basically a larger display within a smaller chassis, so it doesn't look massive on your wrist, and I totally agree with that. I think it's gonna look absolutely amazing. And now, putting the iPhone and the Apple Watch aside, we did get a leak from Shrimp Apple Pro about the AirPods Pro 2 and the actual feature that might be coming with it, which is gonna be huge, and this might be coming at the September 7th event. I'm not exactly sure, let's hope for it, but Shrimp Apple Pro did say that the LC3 codec that was leaked is actually not for lossless, but for normal data transmission like calling and stuff, with lossless actually having a completely new codec, which is likely a custom Apple codec that they built for lossless support on the AirPods Pro 2. So I think that is gonna be a major selling point for those new AirPods Pro 2. A lot of people are gonna buy it because the quality is gonna be absolutely insane and industry changing. And finally, we got some details about Apple's AR/VR headset that is gonna be launching probably within the next year. Who knows, maybe there's a chance Apple might give us a teaser at the September 7th event, but Apple applied for trademarks of Reality 1, Reality Pro, and Reality Processor. And Felipe is thinking that Reality Processor means the new family of chips, just like the A series and the M series for the Macs. The R series is going to be for the ARVR headsets, with Reality 1 being the R1 chip and Reality Pro being the name of the device, which likely means that this is going to be very expensive and not meant for the consumer market. So hopefully we get a teaser of that at the Apple September event. Now, let me know what you're excited for down in the comments section below, because I am extremely excited. Definitely subscribe by clicking the circle above and check out one of those two right there, and we'll see you in the next video.